Is your codependency in the way of you setting boundaries with your family and loved ones? If so, this episode is for you. I'm Nancy Levin. Welcome back to my channel. This is the very best place to learn how to make yourself a priority and set boundaries that stick so you can step into center stage of your own life. Here's the deal. When we are people pleasers, when we are enmeshed, when we are codependent, when we are peacekeepers, it can feel really challenging to set healthy boundaries. But the good news is you can, because if I can do it, so can you. I want to talk a bit about codependency here. This is sort of the classic walking on eggshells. Codependency is when we look to someone else to regulate us emotionally. So we are codependent when we're not okay if everyone isn't okay. Codependency is only feeling okay if everyone else is happy. When there is that unpredictability and we are walking on eggshells, what's happening is we become chameleons and turn into whoever we need to be in order to keep the peace. The myth is that the goal of relationships is harmony at all cost. But here's the deal. Harmony at all cost comes at a very high cost to us. So, in order to set healthy boundaries, the first thing we need to do is have clarity about where we end and someone else begins. We need to take ownership and responsibility for what's ours and release what isn't. I will often say that one of the ways we overstep our own boundaries the most is taking responsibility for someone else's experience. So I want to remind you here that someone else's response to your truth is not your responsibility to manage. Your boundaries are your limits around what you will or will not do, will or will not tolerate, and will or will not accept. Your boundaries are yours to set and yours to hold. It's not up to anybody else to honor, respect, or uphold your own boundaries. It's up to you. So when setting boundaries with family, here is the key. You don't need to verbalize your boundary because your boundary isn't about anyone else changing. Your boundary is simply what you will or will not do and how you're going to take care of yourself. So if you decide to verbalize a boundary, there are a few things you need to know. That you are, come hell or high water, going to stand by it. Otherwise, you're the little kid who cries wolf. Remember, it's up to you to set your boundary and to maintain your boundary. If you're going to verbalize your boundary, you need to remember it's not about anyone else doing anything different. Meaning, your boundary is about you. So when verbalizing a boundary, we verbalize it from I, not you. We're not telling someone else what they need to do or not to. We are simply sharing what we will or will not do and how we'll take care of ourselves. If we choose to share our boundary verbally, please remember it's only good to do so when you're dealing with a reasonable human being. So not an abuser, not a narcissist. You need to be dealing with a reasonable human being if you are going to verbalize your boundary. However, no matter who you're dealing with, you can always set and maintain the boundary within. So when you verbalize a boundary, it can sound like, hey, Mom, I notice that you're calling me several times throughout the day. I'm only available to talk after work. I will call you when I'm free. Now, I didn't say stop calling me. I didn't tell her what to do or not to do. I simply let her know what I am available for. We can set a boundary around behavior, like drinking, let's say. Dad, I recognize when I come over for dinner, I'm really uncomfortable when you have more than 2 glasses of wine. So if that happens moving forward, I'm going to take my family and leave. And whatever they say, I can't believe you're saying that. It's okay if I drink when I'm at home and I'm not driving. You simply return to what I call your company line. Dad, I feel uncomfortable when you have more than 2 drinks. So if that happens, I'm going to take my family and we're going to go. Your father can do whatever he wants, and you get to stand by the choice you're making to take care of yourself and your family. So again, it's really important that you don't point a finger. You don't say you always or you never or you need to. You stick with I. Here's how I feel, and here's what I'm going to do to take care of myself. So in these scenarios, like I said, your father's free to drink. My mother is free to phone me 27 times a day and leave messages. I have let her know what I'm available for, and then you let your father know what you're going to do to take care of yourself. Now, if that feels a little scary, I get it, because that's the number one reason people don't set boundaries. They think they have to say it out loud and they're afraid what to say. So remember, you can set a boundary without saying a word, because your boundary is between you and you. It's up to you to set it and up to you to maintain it. So what you need to do is make the choice within about what you will or will not do, what you will or will not tolerate, will or will not accept. Get clear on how you're going to take care of yourself and take action. Thanks so much for being here with me today. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so you are alerted when I post a new video.